Hello, and welcome back to Geek TV, turning things upside down and inside out with Doctor Who and the Zygon Inversion.
The Osgood box can wipe out humankind. The Osgood box can start the war.
This ceasefire will stand.
But before we get into all that, let's invade last week's comments to see what you guys thought of the Zygon Invasion. So I thought last week's episode was great, and that does seem to be a pretty popular consensus. 0.1 said, this really did feel as though it could have been a made-for-cinema episode. It had the production values and story of something with a multi-million-pound budget, and in Doctor Who terms, it was up there with the best. Over on YouTube, Terry Eastham called it a very strong episode, though he would be happy for the Doctor to put his guitar back in his box now. Well, Benson Recon was less keen. He said, man with time and space machine elects to use airplane travel simply to set up a lazily written cliffhanger. Brilliant. But then back in the DS comments, Eileen Rogers summed it up quite well, I thought. She said, it's getting rave reviews across the board and particularly in the media because it was a great episode. It's always horses for courses, but that was how to do Doctor Who really well in this day and age. So pretty much a thumbs up then for the Zygon Invasion, but how does the Zygon Inversion compare? Well, it's a little less action-packed, it's a little less spectacle, but for me it's no less impressive because what it does is it trades that action for some superb character moments. One of my few criticisms of last week was that the Doctor felt a little bit like a bystander. He was kind of swept along in events, but this week he's a lot more proactive, and Peter Capaldi absolutely steps up to the plate. He's just on fire. This, I think, is one of his best performances he's ever given as the Doctor. In particular, the final fateful confrontation between the Doctor and Kate Stewart and the Zygon Clara / Zygella / Bonnie is absolutely exhilarating and bleak and brilliant. And you look into Peter Capaldi's eyes during those scenes and you can feel the weight of all 2,000 years of the Doctor's life just weighing on him. And that's not me saying Peter Capaldi looks old, I'm saying it's just a brilliant performance from him in that scene. There's also less of an international flavour than there was in the Zygon Invasion, so we're swapping New Mexico for London estates, but what hasn't changed, or what hasn't shifted, is the episode's a strong moral core. So we're still preaching a moral of acceptance and tolerance and forgiveness. It's all very strong, solid stuff for kids. That being said, the ambiguity surrounding Osgood is cleared up here. We do find out whether she's a human or a Zygon. So the Osgood that survived was human, but the one that Missy killed was a Zygon, but then the Zygon that was posing as Clara became a new Zygon Osgood. I think. It's quite confusing. But anyway, I really actually enjoyed Osgood in this episode. I think the script and Ingrid Oliver's performance kind of toned down some of the more cartoonish elements of the character, and you started to see how she could really work as a permanent fixture on the show. And even though she does turn down the opportunity to travel in the TARDIS here, who knows, maybe we'll see her again, maybe we'll even have an Osgood and Osgood spin-off at some stage. Final verdict then on the Zygon Inversion. It's sufficiently different from the Zygon Invasion, but it doesn't lose all the things that made that episode great. So it's just as intelligent, it's just as daring, and it has fantastic performances, particularly from Jenna Coleman, who's pulling double duty. Now, next week, Doctor Who goes all Blair Witch with a found footage spook fest from Mark Gatiss, and judging from the trailer, I'm already incredibly excited for that one. So I'll see you next time for more Geek TV.